Hi, this is Robin Tull, Tull Financial Group, and I am here on the orange couch, or actually talking to somebody on the orange couch, answering questions that you direct to us, questions that you have about financial planning, the things that you're experiencing. And as you probably know, there's about 11,400 people that turn 65 every day in the U.S. And many of those people need to begin to think about where they're going to live as they age. And so related to that, we have today our own Amy Pucci, who is a certified senior advisor. She helps many of our clients in this particular area. So Amy, welcome to the orange couch.
Thank you, Robin. This is such an important topic that many families don't think about until they're in the middle of a stressful situation, whether that's for themselves or their parents.
Well, I think what we do is let's start with the basics. What are the areas that people could live at as they age? What are the choices they have?
Yeah. One that we hear about often is aging in place. People want to stay in their own home. The next is independent living. You have assisted living, and then continuing care, retirement communities, or a life plan community.
Yeah, and I think I'm very familiar with the aging in place. My mother always said she wanted to live at home. And she did up until she was 93 years old. She liked that independence. She liked cooking her own meals. I think, though, the nice thing that she had was her family close by, and I think aging in place requires some family to be there, right?
It really does. When you think about the what ifs, what if you get sick, what if you fall, what if you have a stroke, all of those types of things. Things are great when your family is there to help take care of you, but what if you need care around the clock or more medical nursing care? Well, then in that situation, you would hire someone to come in, and that can get expensive, like $25 to $35 per hour.
Oh my, yeah, it can for that medical care.
Right.
I think the next thing we always usually talk about is independent living, and that's pretty common today in different neighborhoods, right?
It is.
Tell us a little bit about independent living.
Yeah, independent living can be anything from the 55 and over communities to an apartment type living where you have your own apartment, but there's lots of social activities, keeping your body and your mind going, and which is very important as we age. And most of them are 65, 62 years old and above.
Yeah. And then assisted living. I know I had a client that one time just wanted some place to live where somebody would check on them every so often. Tell us a little about assisted living. What does that mean?
So many times an independent living can turn into an assisted living. Sometimes they're one and the same, and other times it's just an assisted living facility. Most of them, it's an apartment type living and you have your own space. But then as you need care, levels of care, the price goes up. So it's a monthly rent. My mom is in an assisted living in Florida. She's had her own apartment. She's been there for 3 or 4 years and didn't need any care. But now recently, she's starting to need some care. So there's an added cost to that rent for the level of care that she's receiving.
And it really can get expensive is what we call these CCRCs, these retirement communities. We do a lot of planning in this particular area because you have to plan ahead because there's some money that has to be deposited up front, right?
Right, that's correct. So usually it's a buy-in that's required. There's a contract that goes along with that where most people would sell their homes. They buy into a place like Westminster Canterbury or Harbor's Edge. There's also places like Lake Prince Woods out in Suffolk or Atlantic Shores where you have your own house almost like a condo or a cottage, but assisted living is there as you need it. So you're paying that upfront cost. You get a tax deduction for that, but it does require a large, bill up front.
Right? That's why the planning is involved. Yeah. Well, how do you determine which one's best for you? I mean, let's just practical. What do you find?
Sure. Yeah. Well, a lot of people, I encourage you to go out and look. We held a workshop here last year. And we had a couple that came in, and they had no intentions of looking at any type of independent living or CCRC. But then after we had our workshop, they went out and they looked, and it's really been fun to follow them through their journey and help them plan. We go to places with them to look at and to talk with the salespeople and find out what's all involved. And then we come back to the table here and we do the financial plan and see how that fits into their overall picture. But it's really about lifestyles. What do you want? How do you want to live the rest of your life? And how do you want to be cared for?
I hear so many good comments about your meeting with our clients, and I know you actually go out and visit some of these sites with them.
Right.
What's the last thing you would say to encourage somebody who maybe is in 65 or older? What should they be thinking about?
I would say start this conversation now. It's never too early. Start thinking about your circumstances, and do you have family that can help you, or do you want to put them in that situation? What kind of life do you want? And find the lifestyle. Are you active? Do you want to be more active? Because sometimes as we age, we tend to sit at home and really not do much, which isn't good. So plan now. Come in and talk with us and let us fit it into your financial plan.
Thank you, Amy. This is such valuable information. I get a lot of these questions in this particular area. So may I encourage you, reach out, give us a call, set up an appointment with Amy. We'd love to talk with you. It's an important part of financial planning, and which is what we do. And thank you for joining us, and I look forward to joining you next time on The Orange Couch.